As a naturally entrepreneurial HSP, and having been through many, many years of making mistakes and figuring out the right business that I should be in, or wondering if there is the right career for me to be in, there are a series of realizations that I came to over the years that help enormously for us as HSPs when we're trying to figure this piece out. Let me share those with you right now. One of the greatest conundrums that was happening for me during my years of trying to figure out the right business was feeling so driven to want to make a difference and feeling so capable and competent to have important conversations and take action. Yet there was such a strange feeling within me of a lack of belonging, so much self-doubt, and a kind of a dissonance or disconnection that was happening within me that was causing so much trouble for me in understanding what I should be doing, trusting that I knew at a deeper level what my natural abilities were, and how I was going to figure all this out, how I was going to get through this mess of feeling so confused whilst having this incredibly strong drive within me to make a difference and do something great. One of the real defining moments during my journey was when I came out of a business in 2008, 2009 due to the recession, and I had this opportunity to be really honest with myself about who I really am, what I really wanted to do, and how I could start to align myself with my natural abilities and my natural drive. This is what I really wanted to take place. So I made a decision to go into training and go into therapy at that time. And that was one of the greatest things that I could have done. Because during that period, I had this incredible breakthrough wherein I began to understand what it really means to be an HSP, and especially what it really means to be an HSP who wants to do something big and wants to make, or an HSP that has that drive, that whatever happens, whatever comes, there is this serious persistence and commitment to wanting to start a business or do something big. During that time, these foundations that appeared actually helped me to understand my identity. They helped me to understand the natural parts of my abilities and really what a true sense of empowerment meant to me. So before, when I was in that conundrum, when I was in that confusion, there was so much uncertainty. Sorry, I should say that there was actually a fundamental rejection of who I was and what my natural gifts and abilities were. I was actually trying to fit in to a box or fit into a genre of business that I felt like ought to be the one, that felt like what I was good at. And I had good reason to think that I was in the right business. I did have skills in the previous business that I was in, and I had a lot of affinity for it. But it wasn't allowing me to get really honest about these actual HSP foundations of my identity. So why are these so important, and what do these pieces really mean? Well, the thing is we're actually highly gifted in a very particular area of life that is revealed to us through what enchants us, what fascinates us, but most importantly, there's actually a sensory reality to our experience of ourselves. And that, for me, when I was trying to figure all this out, just felt super disconnected from what I'd been told I ought to be, or what success in society really means. There was actually this much bigger energetic truth to how I saw the world around me and what I was actually able to facilitate in other people, and how that connected into this greater awareness of my arena of expertise at a higher sensory level. Once I started to experience those during my training, during the facilitation stage that I was in following the crash of my last business, it allowed me to start to realize that there didn't need to be a struggle anymore. It just meant that I had to be honest about what I was naturally gifted at, but most importantly, I had to be honest about the way in which my faculties and abilities actually functioned. And this is the key that just changed everything for me. The next piece of the puzzle that really changed everything was when I took the plunge. So back in 2017, I decided to totally shake up my circumstances at the time. And I decided to take the plunge. I decided to leave the UK, and I decided to leave my natural surroundings, my natural habitat, and dive into the pursuit of being in the arena of these new gifts and abilities, in this expansive mode that I had within me that allowed me to facilitate other HSPs in a very particular genre, in a very particular way. I realized that I had this amazing gift to see people in a very particular way, which solved a really big problem for them. And during that process, during that time, my methodology was revealed to me. But it was taking a plunge in the area that I was naturally gifted in. So there's often this, this advice that there is to follow your passion. I believe that is true to an extent, but I believe what's actually better is to figure out what you're really good at. Now, for us as HSPs, that means a different process. It doesn't work for us in the same way as it does to understand our business acumen or to learn how a business runs. It is about finding what we really care about, but most importantly, it's about actually revealing this higher sensory ability that we have, this high sensory intelligence. That is a really big part of our perception, and it operates in a very particular way. It operates in a very different way to a non-HSP. And as I always say, that's never a comparison. It's an invitation to recognize that we have a very important perspective to bring to the world that's meant to be in partnership. So HSPs and non-HSPs can move forward together to create amazing things. So when it comes to understanding the business or the career that we're supposed to be in, we must allow ourselves to reveal the natural perception that we have and how that knows what it's doing at a deeper cognitive level. Now that might sound really complicated, and using those types of words might think, well, I just don't understand what that is. And I completely get that. And I didn't understand what it was. But there is a process that we can take ourselves through that allows us to reveal for ourselves and witness objectively how this process is actually working. And if that is of interest to you and you're at the point right now where you have had enough of being in the wrong job, you're not building the business that you know you could be, or you're not working at the level that you want to, then put a message into the comments below to say, I'm ready to take the next step. What do I do next? And I will send you some information about how you can move forwards and take these next steps into realizing this piece. The key takeaway from this is, please stop trying to build the business or the career that you think you should be without understanding how your natural high sensory intelligence works as an HSP. It's so difficult to build a business or a career around a false part of who you are. The truth of who you are is there, the truth of your abilities is there, it's already naturally within you, but it just needs a different way to understand that and connect with it. It's just difficult to do that by ourselves as an HSP because it's not readily available to us. The conversation is not common. We have to recognize that we're seeing the world differently, that we function in a different way. Our central nervous system functions in a different way. The way our brain is firing is different. We are neurodivergent, and there is a process for us to help us to reveal what is naturally there within us so you can build the business or start the career that you were born to. I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.